I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's poppin', my homies? Hope you guys are doing well, doing blessed. UFC 272, Colby versus Masvidal. This one is a big one. Man, last week I had to start my breakdown and give a shout out to Jim Miller. I said he was going to get smoked and he didn't, so I had to start my breakdown like that. But this week, man, I don't have to do that. You know, I didn't say anything crazy and it didn't happen. You know, I was quite accurate on the last card, 9 out of 11, something like that. But yeah, this one's UFC 272. Be sure to Hamzat smash the like button. Alright, let's try and make some good predictions, make some good bets. Let's go. UFC 272. Alright, so starting off this card, we've got Dustin Jacoby taking on Michal Oleksiejczuk. I like this matchup, to be honest, man. Dustin Jacoby's a striker, Michal Oleksiejczuk also a striker. So that's the stylistic matchup you've got. If you go back and look at Dustin Jacoby's fights in the UFC, you're going to notice one weapon that he loves to use. Low kick central. You know what I'm saying? This guy will blast your calf with many low kicks. Now on the flip side, when you look at Michal Oleksiejczuk, this guy's like a pressure fighter, you know, wants to use his cardio as a weapon. So that basically means he's going to walk you down, look to use the boxing, rip to the body. He's looking to basically test your cardio, you know, continue to use that forward pressure. Now Dustin Jacoby doesn't really have cardio problems, but if Michal Oleksiejczuk can keep the fight in the pocket, look to continuously rip to the body, look to slow down Dustin, it doesn't really matter if you've got cardio problems or not. If Michal Oleksiejczuk is in that fight, then it's going to look good for him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, guys, like I said, we have a striking matchup and it really comes down to who can fight their style. Dustin Jacoby is going to be taller and longer than Michal Oleksiejczuk, but that's pretty much the case every time Michal Oleksiejczuk steps inside the octagon. You know, he's not a big 205er. But yeah, my prediction on this matchup, I'm going to side with the guy I've not picked against yet in the UFC. And that's going to be Dustin Jacoby. I like the low kicks and he probably can keep the distance in this matchup. That's really what he's got to do against Michal Oleksiejczuk. Look to keep that distance, keep the low kicks coming. You've really got kicking versus boxing. I'm going to side with the kicker. I'd have to price Dustin Jacoby at least around 7 times out of 10, maybe a little bit less, minus 200. And you've got Dustin Jacoby minus 180 up to minus 200. So yeah, the betting line is pretty spot on. Michal Oleksiejczuk will look good as an underdog if he can keep the fight close, if he can keep the fight in the pocket, rip those combinations. So yeah, guys, good matchup in this one. I'm going to side with Jacoby to implement his style of kicking. Alright guys, we've got a matchup between Ludovit Klein taking on Devonte Smith. Now both of these guys have been completely dusted in their last matchup. You look at what happened to Devonte Smith with Jamie Mullarkey. You know, Devonte Smith started that fight well, you know, he was looking good in round 1. But as soon as that matchup slowed down a little bit and it got a little bit more dirty, Devonte Smith just kind of gave up. And in that type of matchup where you slow down and it becomes more of a dogfight, that's where Jamie Mullarkey excels. And that's what he done to Devonte Smith, you know, just dusted him. Now on the flip side, if you look at Ludovit Klein, that's kind of what happened to him too with Nate Landwehr. Nate Landwehr is kind of like a dog. You know, he grows into those types of fights. Same as Jamie Mullarkey, you know. We should do that matchup. Jamie Mullarkey versus Nate Landwehr. 2 dogs. But yeah, guys, looking at this matchup, it is quite a difficult prediction to make. Both of these guys are pretty decent strikers. To be honest, I'm not sure who I trust more out of these 2 guys. You know, Devonte Smith got slept by Karma Worthy and then just kind of quits against Jamie Mullarkey. Yeah, guys, I'm probably not going to bet on this one, but if you put a gun to my head and I have to make a prediction, I'm going to side with Ludovit Klein. You know, his debut really showed us how good he is as a striker. You know, that high kick against Shane Young was super nasty. You would have to keep the odds pretty close still because Ludovit Klein hasn't won since the UFC debut and Devonte Smith's kinda just searching for a knockout. You know, that knockout round 1 either side, it is quite live. Now looking at what the bookies have, the bookies have Ludovit Klein plus 170. So I'm saying I probably won't bet on this one, but when you give me numbers like this, you know, I might bet this one now. Plus 170 Ludovit Klein. I'm sure you could make bets on this card that would be worse than that. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad underdog. Alright, we've got a matchup between Tim Elliott taking on Tagir Ulanbekov. Now, we sparked up for Jim Miller a couple weeks ago because he's an OG. Tim Elliott is an OG too, you know what I'm saying? And my middle name's Elliott, so we'll spark up for Tim Elliott. Alright, this is what I literally did for the Jim Miller breakdown. After sparking up and paying your respects, I'm picking Tagir Ulanbekov. That's my prediction. Now, I'm not going to say that Tim Elliott's going to get smoked, but my prediction is going to be Tagir Ulanbekov. Now, the main reason why I'm going to pick Tagir Ulanbekov, I kind of think that even if Tim Elliott's having a good fight, which he was against, who is it? Matheus Nicolau. Even though he was having a good fight there, there's just moments where he lets himself down. Like, there's a few big shots to get through from Nicolau, or he gets taken to the mat. You know, so even if he's looking good on the feet and he's got all the unorthodox attacks, 90% of the time, you know, Tim Elliott's throwing stuff, he doesn't even know what he's gonna throw. You know, it's just, I'm going to throw a kick, then a spinning attack, then a jumping attack. You know, it's so unorthodox. Not even Tim Elliott knows what's coming next, you know, so it can look good for the judges at times. But on the flip side, it can also look bad when you're throwing a spinning attack and then you just get caught real clean, you know what I'm saying? So the striking defense isn't the best. He does look a little bit crazy at times and he can be taken to the mat. Now, against a really good Russian grappler, you know, Tagir Ulanbekov, that's what I'm going to go with here. I'm going to say he takes Tim Elliott to the mat. Now, I'm probably not going to bet on Tagir Ulanbekov just because Tim Elliott's an OG. My prediction's going to be Tagir Ulanbekov. Probably not going to bet it. I'd price him around minus 200 and the bookies have minus 250, minus 280, minus 220. So yeah, they've got him in the minus 200s. Do you want to add that to the parlay? Probably not. My prediction's going to be Tagir Ulanbekov. Alright guys, we've got a matchup between Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Brian Kelleher. Now, for those of you that already know who Umar Nurmagomedov is, you're probably going to skip this breakdown, skip this prediction. You're already probably going to make that prediction. On the flip side, some of you might not know who this guy is, but you see the name. You know, Nurmagomedov, you see that name. He is Russian. He is from the Nurmagomedov family, so we know he can grapple. Now, guys, this is the crazy thing about Umar Nurmagomedov. Not only is he a brilliant grappler, like all of his brothers, you know what I'm saying? Not only can he grapple, this guy is a mad good striker. If you guys said to me, you know, compare him to a striker, just to give us like a rough idea of what he's trying to do from a striking standpoint. If I had to give you a name, I would kind of compare him to like a Stephen Wonderboy. You know, that's the level of kicking Umar Nurmagomedov has. So yeah guys, I'm already going to make a prediction that's quite crazy. Not only is Umar Nurmagomedov going to win this fight, 100% he's going to win this fight. Not only is that going to happen, but he's probably going to get to like 20-0, 21-0. And that's purely because of his skill set. You know, the striking's good, the grappling's good. How do you beat this guy? You've got to knock him out. You've got to submit him. You've got to do something crazy. Now, obviously, you've got Brian Kelleher, who has a lot of experience. You know, this guy, he's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it, to be honest, guys. So, yeah, the prediction's going to be Umar Nurmagomedov to win the matchup. Could be a head kick, could be a submission, could be ground and pound. Umar Nurmagomedov is a future champion, in my opinion. So, I'm going to price Umar minus 500, similar to what I'd price Islam against Bobby Green. And the bookies have minus 650 up to minus 700. Oh my goodness. So even the bookies are like, we're that sure Umar's gonna win. I'm gonna give you plus 500. You know, you can times 4, times 5 your money, but probably not. You know what I'm saying? Alright, moving into a matchup between Marina Moroz taking on Mariya or Mariya Agapova. Yeah, this is a good matchup. My prediction, I'm gonna take Mariya Agapova. Now, a lot of people faded her against Sabina Mazo. Agapova was an underdog, and I see a lot of people picking Mazo. A lot of people that made that prediction, one of the main reasons why they made that prediction, they kind of felt that Mariya Agapova had bad cardio. You know, she couldn't manage her gas tank. And again, one of the reasons why they felt that, they saw that against Xiaonan Dobson. You know, usually when we say this fighter has this or this fighter has that, it's because we've seen it, right? Now the problem is not every fighter can go out there under the bright lights and perform to the highest of their ability, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what happened to Mariya Agapova against Shana Dobson. You know, she turned up to work and it was not a good day at the office. Now she turned up for work again against Sabina Mazo, and this one was a good day at the office. So yeah, she cashed as an underdog. Her boxing looked good, she looked composed, she managed that cardio much better. You know, one of the best ways to not get tired is to be composed. You know, pick your shots, don't go too crazy, save a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Mariya Agapova done in that matchup. Now on the flip side, you've got Marina Moroz, who is a pretty decent boxer. So stylistically, in my opinion, you've got primarily a boxer taking on another boxer. My prediction, like I said guys, I'm going to side with Mariya Agapova. It's not because I think she's like a way better boxer than Marina Moroz. It's not because of that. It's just purely because when Marina Moroz lands her shots, we're going to say it's a nice shot. But when Mariya Agapova lands her shots, even if Marina Moroz is landing more shots than Mariya Agapova, I still see Agapova winning the fight purely based on the more significant shots. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. I'm going to take Mariya Agapova, and I'm actually going to make the prediction that she's going to be the first person to stop Marina Moroz. Alright guys, we've got a matchup between Negumereanu taking on Kennedy Nzechukwu. This is a weird matchup, to be honest. Man, I'm not a big fan of Kennedy. The only time I've taken him in the UFC was against Darko Stosic. One of the main weapons for Kennedy is the size. You know, 6'6", 83, 84 inches of reach. You know, this guy's a big man. You know, if he could just use that size a little bit better, you know, I'd be a fan. Because this guy's massive, you know what I'm saying? But if you're looking at areas where Kennedy's not great, one of the big areas is going to be fight IQ. For example, Carlos Ulberg was super tired, and Kennedy's coach was screaming at him to just pick the pressure up, and Kennedy just wouldn't do it. You know, he was giving Carlos Ulberg a difficult time, but still giving him a chance to remain in the fight despite being exhausted. Now the opponent, guys, Negumereanu, this guy is primarily a wrestler. I took him as a big underdog against Oleksiejczuk, and he won that fight. And then he got a win against IK Villanueva, which was a pretty decent performance. Alright, so Negumereanu and Kennedy, how does this one play out? On the feet, it should be Kennedy Nzechukwu. He should be winning that battle. If Negumereanu utilizes a bit of his grappling, maybe takes Kennedy to the mat, then maybe he can win the fight. I think it's a weird one, and probably one you shouldn't lay like 10 units on, you know what I'm saying? I've only picked Kennedy one time, and Nick is on a nice win streak, but I'm gonna side with I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna pick Kennedy Nzechukwu just because Negumereanu isn't like a jiu-jitsu specialist like Paul Craig. He's not a Muay Thai specialist like Carlos Ulberg, and he's not like a really good boxer like Da Un Jung. So yeah guys, my prediction, I'm going to side with Kennedy Nzechukwu. It's a weird matchup though, and you've got Kennedy -150 up to -160. So the bookies are saying roughly 60% probability that Kennedy is going to win this matchup. Yeah, I don't disagree. I wouldn't give him any more than a 60% probability. You know, it's one of those ones, man. It's a weird matchup. My prediction's going to be Kennedy. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Marina Rodriguez taking on Xiaonan. Man, this is a good matchup. When you're looking at the styles of both of these girls, what you've got here is a pure striking matchup. Marina Rodriguez is the Muay Thai fighter. Yan is the Sanda kickboxer. If you're looking at the area of Marina Rodriguez that's not too great, if you're looking at where she's lost inside the octagon or where she's got a draw, it's going to be the grappling. You know, the way to beat Marina Rodriguez is to take her to the mat. Man, a lot of people took Mackenzie Dern in that matchup, but Marina Rodriguez at plus money just to keep the fight standing. Now guys, Carla Esparza did take down Marina Rodriguez. She won that fight, but man, she didn't damage Marina Rodriguez the way she damaged Yan. You know, Carla Esparza, man, wins over both of these girls. So yeah guys, when you're looking at the area of Marina Rodriguez that doesn't exactly excel inside the octagon, it's going to be the grappling. Now on the flip side, you could say the same thing about Jan, you know, a really, really good striker, but if you're looking at the areas that's not too great, it's going to be the grappling. If you've got two kickboxers that have mainly struggled with grappling, you're probably going to get 95% of kickboxing battle. So really, you're just going to decide who's the better kickboxer, you know, who's the sharper boxer, who's got more output, who's more violent. To answer all of those questions, I would say Jan has maybe a bit sharper boxing, but on the flip side, Marina Rodriguez is pretty long, you know, she can smack you with those 1-2s. Who's more violent? I would say Marina Rodriguez, mainly because she's more inclined to smack you with elbows, smack you with knees, like the Muay Thai fighter wants to, you know what I'm saying? If you come into that clinch, Marina Rodriguez will dust you with elbows, dust you with knees, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's a good matchup. Both of these girls are really good strikers. I have never picked against Xiaonan. I've never done it. And I'm going to keep that same energy. I'm going to keep that energy, man. I'm going to predict Jan to win this matchup. It's most likely going to be a kickboxing battle. And it's most likely going to be a close one because both of these girls shine with their striking. So yeah, my prediction, I'm going to side with Jan. I'd keep the odds pretty close. Maybe give Marina Rodriguez like a slight advantage. But yeah, in a striking battle, it's a close one. Now the bookies have Jan plus 200, plus 220. That is crazy. I wouldn't disagree with Marina Rodriguez being the favourite, but at nearly minus 300. And that's not to discredit Marina and say she's not good enough. It's not to say that, it's just to say stylistically, if you've got two strikers who are gonna strike and both of them are really good at striking, the line should be closer, you know what I'm saying? Alright guys, you got a matchup between Jalin Turner taking on Jamie Mullarkey. Man, to be honest with you, I've kind of swapped my prediction back and forth on this one. Originally I was leaning towards Jamie Mullarkey, but then I swapped my prediction to Jalin Turner, so yeah, that is going to be my prediction, guys. I'm siding with Jalin Turner. Now, the reasons why I'm going to change my prediction and hopefully it works out. It did work out last week. Originally, I was on Faraz Siam and then I swapped to Terence McKinney. And yeah, the swap did work. So hopefully it can work again this week. And the main reasons why I'm going to change my prediction. I think Jamie Mullarkey takes too much damage. You know what I'm saying? He's a tough guy. If he can break you, it looks good, you know. He broke Devonte Smith like we spoke about earlier. But on the flip side, until he can break you, you know, his striking defense isn't the best and he is quite hittable. You look at the fight against Brad Riddell, you know, just a barn burner. Where Jamie Mullarkey, I don't know how he survived. My prediction's going to be based on Jamie Mullarkey doesn't have good striking defense, and if the fight goes to the mat, Jalin Turner has good jiu-jitsu. If Jamie Mullarkey can kind of close the distance, keep this one standing, look to make it a dogfight, even if Jamie Mullarkey's getting like dusted up a little bit, if he can make it into round 2, round 3 and just keep going, just try to break Jalin Turner the way he broke Devonte. It's a good win, you know, it's a big win. But I think his striking defense isn't the best, and when you get hit a lot inside the octagon, it's difficult to back that. So I'm going to swap my prediction from my initial read. I'm going to side with Jalin Turner. Now the betting odds, you've got Jalin Turner minus 130 up to minus 150. So the bookies aren't making Jamie Mullarkey like a massive underdog, you know. They're kind of saying, look, we know what this guy's going to do. He's probably going to be losing the fight early and then he might start to break Jalin Turner down. So pre-fight you can get Jamie Mullarkey plus 110, plus 120, but it might be worth trying to in play. My prediction, I'm going to side with Jalin Turner. Alright my homies, you know what time it is, man. It's time for a smoke break. Yeah, no dodgy latter this week, let's go. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke break, that's a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Hey guys, can I just say, this is how I know my community is like a stoner community. This is how I know, right? A few weeks ago, I'm asking smoke break questions about did we go to the moon and all of that, right? And this question did get answered. And then I'm asking you, what did I ask after that? Something about AI, right? And this question got answered too. Now guys, last week I asked you, what is your favorite stoner movie of all time? Man, the amount of people that got involved with this question, yeah? I can tell you guys are stoners, man. I can tell. I was just cracking up all week, man. All week, every day, there was multiple answers, man, and there was so many good movies. But yeah, amen to you guys, man. I can tell you're sparking up on the daily. Let's go. Or the weekly, or monthly, right? I'm going to try give you guys a good smoke break question again. Guys, my question for the smoke break. If you could spark a blunt with one celebrity or one famous person, if you could spark a blunt with one person, who would it be? Or if you don't smoke, who would you have a drink with? Or if you don't drink and you don't smoke, man, maybe like checkers or something like that. Who would you play checkers with? Man, I probably should have had a little think about this question. For me, I'm going to say Elon Musk. I'm going to spark a blunt with Elon Musk. And you know why, guys? I'm going to ask him about the aliens, the AI, the simulation theory. I'm going to have Elon Musk tell me that we are in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? We're going to spark that blunt. And Elon Musk is going to be like, listen, we're inside a computer, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, drop down your comments below. Who's that one person you're sparking up with? If I had to make some guesses, I'm going to say people are leaving like Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see those comments. And it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if you don't smoke or drink, you know, Connect 4, who you matching up with on Connect 4, you know what I'm saying? Alright, my homies, UFC 272, if you want all of my bets on this full card, the only way to do that is going to be the Patreon. If you join the Patreon too, please join the Discord. It's super lit. All of my Discord people, hopefully you can amen to that, you know what I'm saying? The Discord group, I love it. Alright, my homies, let's break down this main card. The main card predictions start right now. Alright, we've got Sergey Spivak taking on Greg Hardy. This is the first fight on the main card. Guys, when you're looking at who's the better fighter, who's got more to offer, and who really should be favoured to win the fight, I think the answer is going to be Sergey Spivak. However, if you're looking at who's got potential to finish the fight round one, who can KO the opponent early, I think the answer's got to be Greg Hardy. And it doesn't matter who you are, you know, even though you're the better fighter, Greg Hardy is super explosive. You know, if you're super explosive, you have that KO potential, it's live. You know, Greg Hardy got completely dusted by Tai Tuivasa. He got completely dusted by Marcin Tybura. But guys, to be honest, even in both of those losses for Greg Hardy, he did have moments against Marcin Tybura. And against Tai Tuivasa, you know, the reason why Greg Hardy went in for that KO, because Tai Tuivasa was rocked. And that's so crazy, you know, you're rocked and you're still firing back. And then you find the KO, you know what I'm saying? It's a crazy thing. But yeah, that's what you've got with this matchup. You've got Sergey Spivak, who is a better boxer, can find the jab better than Greg Hardy. He's a better grappler than Greg Hardy, and he has better cardio. But then you've got Greg Hardy, who can knock you out in round one. Guys, I'm going to side with Greg Hardy. I'm going to do it. Round one KO for Greg Hardy. And if he doesn't win this fight and he loses, that's 3 in a row, you're potentially looking at getting cut. The chances of Greg Hardy getting a round one stoppage compared to the chances of Spivak finding a stoppage outside of round one, the chances between those two things, I would say they're pretty even, to be honest. So yeah, I'd keep the odds pretty close. And I'm sure the bookies are going to favour, yeah, they have. They've got Spivak minus 200, minus 220. Yeah, I mean, outside of round one, minus 220, it's super legit. But round one against Greg Hardy, you know, don't be shocked. There's a reason why the UFC have opened up this main card with this matchup. It potentially has a round one KO. It has to be round one though. I'm looking for that round one KO. I'm sure Greg Hardy's going to be looking for that too. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between the Trailblazer. Guys, if you've been listening to my channel for a while, or if you haven't, I'm going to let you know still. Kevin Holland is the homie, yeah? Home Alone. Kevin Home Alone Holland, the homie. For anyone listening to the channel for the first time, you're thinking, why is this guy referencing Home Alone? But hey, if you've been listening for a while, man, Kevin Holland, you know what I'm saying? The homie. To be honest, man, the homie hasn't been doing too good inside the octagon recently, you know? Hasn't won a fight in a while. Over a year now at this point. And with that type of bad run inside the octagon, octagon, you know, you have to look at the matchup, really ask yourself, can Alex Oliveira win this matchup? I think the answer is yes. I can't really do it, to be honest, guys. The only way I see Oliveira winning this fight, the only way I see it, is if the matchup turns into like a dogfight. You know, if Alex Oliveira starts fast and just looks to be a dog in there, and Kevin Holland gives him what he wants, gives him that dogfight, then I can see Alex Oliveira, you know, finding a submission, or both guys get tired and Oliveira has the experience in that type of dogfight. That's how I see Alex Oliveira winning the fight. But if that dogfight doesn't happen and Kevin Holland is just looking to use that size, looking to win the distance type battle, and when I say distance type battle, that's going to be, I'm in range to hit you, you're not in range to hit me. You know, at range, I can see Oliveira trying to get his kicks going, you know, trying to fire the kicks to the body, kick the legs. But Kevin Holland is pretty good at managing that range, where he's probably going to be out of range of that, and then he's going to pop Alex Oliveira with 1-2s, or even find his kicks to the body, find his kicks to the legs, you know what I'm saying? You know, thinking back to that win against Buckley, that 1-2 down the barrel to finish the fight, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Holland is pretty good at managing that range. My prediction in this matchup, I'm going to side with the homie home alone, Kevin Holland. My odds on this one, I'd price Kevin Holland around -200. And you've got Kevin Holland -275, -250. Maybe you can put that in a 2-fight parlay though, get plus money. Alright, we've got Edson Barboza taking on Bryce Mitchell. Yeah, I think this breakdown's pretty straightforward. If Bryce Mitchell can take you to the mat, get the jiu-jitsu game going, good chance he wins the matchup. On the flip side, you've got Edson Barboza, who's arguably one of the best kickers inside the UFC. You can't really say he's a better kicker than Chikadze, seeing as Chikadze obliterated him with the kicks. But you can put him in the top 2, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the best kickers in the game. Now guys, if you go back and watch Bryce Mitchell, if you look at his striking before he gets that grappling game going, if you analyse what he's doing, you're going to see a lot of kicks. You know, this guy likes to kick you before he gets the grappling going. I had a conversation with one of my friends about this matchup because his favourite fighter is Bryce Mitchell. And my friend basically said, you know, Bryce Mitchell will circle on the outside and use those kicks, and no one looks to take him down. And that's mainly the reason why he can implement those kicks, because no one's going to take him down, so he can just kick on the outside until he's ready to work his takedown, you know what I'm saying? Now guys, here's the problem with that. Even though Bryce Mitchell likes to do that, you still don't want to kick with Edson Barboza. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to kick with this guy. So if you're looking at the smart game plan for Bryce Mitchell, it's going to be, I'm getting you to the mat ASAP. If Bryce Mitchell can do that against an olden Edson Barboza, 36 years old, if he can take him to the mat, you don't have to work towards a submission, you know, just look to fatigue Edson Barboza. And if you can get Edson Barboza fatigued, those takedowns are going to come more in the fight. So ultimately, the game plan for Bryce Mitchell should be, I'm going to look to fatigue Edson Barboza with my grappling as soon as I can. So yeah, if you're going to pick Bryce Mitchell, ultimately you're going to be picking that, and I'm going to pick that. My prediction's going to be Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. You know, the flip side is going to be if Edson Barboza can strike, he can knock Bryce Mitchell dead. Like 100%, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to strike with Edson Barboza if you're Bryce Mitchell. But yeah, guys, good matchup. I'm siding with the jiu-jitsu of Bryce Mitchell. Now, deciding the odds on this matchup, you would have to basically try to figure out how many times would Bryce Mitchell get the win with the grappling compared to how many times would Edson keep the fight striking. I wouldn't say 7 times out of 10, but I'd say it's pretty close. I'd price Mitchell around -200, and the bookies have Bryce Mitchell -150, -140. So yeah, if you're liking Bryce Mitchell, you know, the odds ain't too bad. You know, -150, you don't really have to parlay that. You can hit that straight up. On the flip side, Edson Barboza plus money, same thing. You don't have to parlay that. You can hit that straight up, you know what I'm saying? That's not a bad underdog. But again, it's not a bad underdog if Edson Barboza can keep it striking. You know, you're making your bet based on what you think's going to happen. We know both of these guys can win the matchup, but it comes down to who can do what they've got to do. And ultimately, you have to pick what it's going to be. We're going to find out what it's going to be, but I'm picking the grappling. Alright my homies, main event. If you've enjoyed my breakdown, UFC 272 breakdown, if you've enjoyed it, please Hamzat smash the like button. Alright guys, you know when you get like the toast at the wedding, you know, the best man stands up and he says a few words, right? I kind of feel like I want to do that right now with the blunt, you know, just spark up, toast you guys, say amen, say thank you for the support, right? Amen to my community. Alright guys, having said that, I'm about to shock a lot of people. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. I'm picking Jorge Masvidal to win the main event. There you go. I said it. I'm picking Jorge Masvidal. And the reasons why I'm going to do that, if Jorge Masvidal can just strike a little bit in round 1 or in round 2, even if it gets to round 4, if he can strike a little bit, there is a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
There is a chance that he can dust the chin of Colby. There's a chance. Now, for all of my people that are, you know, you're shocked I'm making that prediction, I'm going to still give you the logic, right? I'm going to give you the logical prediction. Listen, the logical prediction is going to be Colby has better cardio, higher output, wrestling. He's got more to offer than Jorge Masvidal, and he probably outscores him with all of that combined. That's the logic, right? So you can make that prediction, you know, the logical prediction isn't a bad one, but I'm on that shock prediction. I do believe at some point he's gonna dust him. Now guys, if I had to figure out the odds on the logical prediction compared to what I just took, if I had to figure out the difference and who's got more chance, obviously the logical prediction has more chance. You know, what number should Colby be at? At the very most, guys, I would say minus 250 on Colby, at the very most. Now, the bookies have Colby at minus 350 all the way up to minus 400. You know what I'm saying, guys? At the end of the day, you can make the prediction, but are you going to bet on that prediction? Are you going to say Colby has an 80% chance against Jorge Masvidal? I don't think he's got an 80% chance. You know, 70%. 72%, okay, but now you're making me pay tax. You know what I'm saying? If I want to bet on that logical prediction, I'm paying more than I should. So yeah guys, that is my full card predictions. That's my main event prediction. I haven't officially got a bet on Jorge Masvidal just yet, but if you can get plus 300, plus 275 at this moment in time, I think there's bets on the card that are way worse than that. Colby's going to get takedowns, but Jorge's good at getting back to the feet. Colby is a good wrestler, but Jorge's a good defensive wrestler. Colby has a lot of output, but Jorge Masvidal has the KO chance. Colby has really good cardio, but Jorge Masvidal's trained hard for this fight. I know there's going to be people that disagree with the prediction. I know there's going to be people that say, look, Colby's going to do this, Colby's going to do that. And I'll be someone to agree with the logic. I'll be someone that is going to agree with that. But I'm also going to be someone that can counter argue. You know, if Colby gets the takedown, I believe Jorge gets back to the feet. You know, the counter argument to that is going to be, well, even if he gets back to the feet, that's going to score for Colby on the scorecards. And that's also true. But to that, I would say it depends what Jorge does when he gets back to the feet. If he can land a couple big shots, it might outweigh the takedowns in that round. I'm going to make the prediction Jorge Masvidal. I think at the end of the day, when you're gambling, it is a numbers game. And when you're giving me Jorge at plus 275, it's a good number. So yeah, guys, drop down your predictions on the main event, the co-main event, all of your underdogs, your parlays, all of that good stuff. Drop it down below. All right, my homies, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller, peace.